And we're back with more DC Vertigo books. Next up we have Brian Azzarello's Loveless. If you're a fan of the likes of Deadwood and Helen Wheels, Loveless is an awesome story. It has a very deep, kind of rich mythology about it. You have a woman looking to avenge her lover, you have a freed slave who's now a bounty hunter, and you have a renegade Confederate general causing all kinds of shit. One of the best Wild West stories and comics put to paper, and it is very gritty. It is like something that HBO or AMC would produce, and if you get a chance, definitely pick up these books. There's only 3 volumes, so it would be easy to get your hands on. Okay, next up we have Fables. If you've played the game Wolf Among Us, then you know about Fables, and you know about Big B Wolf, and how all the Fable characters have moved to New York. Very interesting story, and I think a lot of shows like Grimm and Ever After kind of steal elements from Fables, but this is a really cool, interesting comic, and it deserves the attention it should get. Now, next up we have Swamp Thing, Healing the Breach, Joshua Dysart and Enrique Breccia. This, again, it's a Vertigo comic, so it's going to be very trippy, but it does have the action of a more mainstream superhero comic. Most of the Vertigo Swamp Thing's comics have a very nature, environmental centric storyline, but there's a lot of action to go with them, and this is no exception. Greek Street. This is a retelling of all the Greek legends in contemporary London and the different Greek families, like you have Oedipus, and you have Medusa, and you have the Sirens, and it is an awesome Greek kind of retelling of this. Olympia, or Olympus, is a nightclub that all the gods, quote unquote, congregate at, and it's a pretty cool comic if you get a chance. Peter Milligan and David Galfis. Next up we have Scalped. These are awesome. This is like if The Sopranos was about Native Americans instead of Italian Americans. You have this guy, an undercover FBI agent by the name of Bad Horse, and he returns to deal out justice to the killer of his mother, who was murdered on the reservation, which is called the Res. And there's lots of unsavory characters, and if you like good crime, this is the way to go. Jason Aaron is one of the best crime writers I have ever read in a long time, and he does a wicked job on Punisher as well. Another Jason Aaron comic, The Other Side, which is a multi-perspective comic on the Vietnam War, one from a Vietnamese soldier and the other viewpoint from an American soldier, and the artwork is beautiful. If you get a chance, check it out. Cameron Stewart's artwork is badass in that comic. Hinterkind. The apocalypse has happened, and all the fairy tale creatures and animals decide to take over. Ian Edginton, he done work on Dark Horse, does a really multi-layered story, and artwork is pretty awesome, pretty nice. Transmetropolitan. Lots of people lose their shit over Transmat. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's as groundbreaking as people make it out to be. Warren Ellis is a good writer, but I don't think this is going to reinvent the wheel. Next up we have the 100 Bullet series. Again, Brian Azzarello does another fantastic Vertigo story about a man. He gives you an opportunity to kill someone, but you will be in his pocket, and it's hard to explain. Some parts are kind of espionage-esque, and other parts are true crime, but it's pretty good. I have the first 4 volumes, and if you can get a chance, track them down. They won both the Harvey and Eisner Award, and Brian Azzarello kicks ass with that story. DMZ. You probably notice I have a lot of like part 1s of Vertigo stories. The Vertigo books are fairly expensive, so unless it really grabs me, I only pick up the one to see if I warm to it. This is kind of set in a post-apocalyptic America where Second Civil War has happened, and I think Manhattan Island has been turned into a demilitarized zone, and you have all these different characters. You have reporters and you have mercenaries and stuff, just all congregating about. Brian Wood and Riccardo Bellici does a fantastic job with the art, and Brian Azzarello does an introduction, so it's well worth a look. Lucifer, very different from the TV show, a lot more along the lines of Sandman than that kind of smarmy kind of git that's on the TV show. I have the first 2 volumes, Children and Monsters and Devils at the Gateway, and it shows, while the TV show makes Lucifer to be a sympathetic character, so does this one. This is a guy who isn't evil. He just wanted to start afresh, and he's just pissed off with things. Mike Carey does a wicked job writing. Some of the artwork is good, some of it is a bit, I find a bit ropey, but by and large it's still a cool comic. And if you're thinking it's going to be the same as the TV series, you're going to be disappointed. Next up, my favourite comic series of all time, and I am not a fan of the TV show, but I love the comic. Preacher, Garth Ennis's fucking masterpiece. Jesse Custer gets the word of God and decides to go around and sort shit out. I have an autographed edition from Glenn Fabry, so that's my thing. If you get a chance, definitely read the comic before you watch the series, because for everything the series does right, it does 3 more things wrong. So yeah, okay, so we have last up, The Invisibles. Grant Morrison again, trippy ass comic, but then again it's Vertigo, and if you're a fan of the likes of the Transmat or even Sandman, this is definitely one to have a look at because it is trippy as balls. Now, going on to my regular DC, we have Animal Man. I have a bunch of Animal Man books, but this one's pretty good. Jerry Conway, the guy behind the creator of The Punisher, does The Last Days Animal Man. It's Buddy Benson. Finally, the age is catching up with him and he's losing his power. New Frontier, fantastic JLA comic. Darwin Cook revives a very kind of pulp feel and look to the comic, and it's got a very nice political kind of twist, and it's a period piece. It's a 1950s period piece. JSA, alright comic, very Teen Titans-y, and I kind of find it hard to get behind the characters, but when you do, it's worth it. Checkmate, I got this one, and it's weird. Bawana Beast and a bunch of kind of Z-list heroes decide to go off and fight evil. It's alright. Martian Manhunter, really nice. Jared Jones and Eduardo Barrito. The artwork I really like, and it's got a very kind of 50s pulp feel to it. Countdown to Adventure. This is cool. Adam Beach, Eddie Burrows, and Alan Goldman. It's a team up between Starfire, Buddy Benson, and I think Adam Strange. And there seems to be kind of a zombie virus taking over Earth as a result of Infinite Crisis. Greatest JLA Stories Ever Told. Really nice book. Classic stories. If you like your vintage Justice League, that's one to check out. Hitman. Garth Ennis does another wicked story about a hitman who is telepathic and has extra vision, which makes him almost invincible. He takes the piss out of superheroes in these books, and takes the piss out of American culture in general. If you like your kind of pulpy, take the piss out of kind of comic books, this is one to go. If you like Kick-Ass, this is one to check out. Next up, we have, I loved Green Arrow, especially if it's done by Kevin Smith, or if it's done by Judd Winnick, they're pretty cool. The best one has to be Black Canary and Green Arrow's wedding album. Very fun, very... That's the thing, I don't like the guy in the TV show. Amel is a good action hero, he's a good kind of Bruce Wayne, but he doesn't get a good Oliver Queen. So, yeah, I'd leave that. I wouldn't be too gone on that.